Hello, Bucs fans. Are we all feeling better now? How we all doing tonight? Is everybody kumbaya, feeling better? Everybody's okay. Can we rehire Bruce Arians now? Can we bring back Todd Bowles? Tom Brady's not over the hill yet. We're okay now. The defense
Yeah.
It's good to be a Buccaneers fan again. Hallelujah. 7-3. Go freaking Bucs. You would think that the team was on the verge of disaster the way fans were talking, and all of a sudden you look at it and go, wait, we're 7-3. How you feeling tonight, Dave?
Hey, I'm doing great. Monday before Thanksgiving, Buck beat down tonight. It's a beautiful night.
Feast. They feasted
on the
New York Giants. Remember, it was not that long ago, folks, when we were hearing, man, the Bucs suck in prime time. It was not that long ago when we were hearing all the, oh no, Bucs suck in prime time. Oh, fire
Brady's
Todd
worst
Bowles,
night Monday night.
Byron Leftwich. Now what? Now what are you going to complain about?
Let's fire Todd Bowles.
Yeah, what are you going to complain about now? What are you going to complain about now? Thank you, David Tournier, whatever, for saying it correctly. How about them Bucs, baby? Yes, sir. Hi, Steve.
Yeah.
Hello, Stephen Tukey. Hello, Rufus. Johnny Dean. Hello, Brian. Hello, Rusty. All right, guys. Hit the share button, the like button. Get this thing out here. Let's talk Bucs. Hallelujah, freaking Luya. Go Bucs. I'm telling you, this was fun. This was fun. Anybody who thinks Sean Murphy Bunting's not that important, oh yeah. This is the difference. I know we like to say things like next man up, and we like to come up with sayings like that and, you know, spout out things like that, but it makes a huge difference when your defensive line is not dropping back in coverage and they can actually do their job. This was a lot of fun. Yes, Buster Rags. Yes, we played defense tonight, but it's because we had the horses on the field. We had the players there who could do it. Welcome back, Rob Gronkowski. Yes, sir, Johnny Dean, you are correct. All of that is true. When you bring those guys back, the defense will be back. You cannot play with an 8th string cornerback the same way you can with a 1st string cornerback. The entire defense gets affected, and we saw it tonight. Welcome back, Bucs. You're 7-3.
And
you know, last year they were 7-5.
Carlton Davis could be coming off IR tomorrow.
That's correct.
Now, wouldn't that be nice traveling up to Indianapolis to have Carlton Davis and Sean Murphy Bunting in the game at the same time?
Yep. And Teresa Baxter says, now it's Mike Evans, now who is always going to the sideline. Teresa, Mike Evans has been that guy as long as I can remember. Every game, he's hurt in some way, shape, or form, and then comes right back a play or two later like nothing is wrong. I don't know what's going on. I'm guessing that was his hamstrings. He's had problems with hamstrings for years, I guess. But man, can you imagine when we get everybody back? Does everybody see little flashes of what we've been missing with all of those injured players? And you've been trying to blame anybody and everybody else, trying to say we should be playing the same with all these backups. Now you're starting to see, you know, there weren't mistakes made because players weren't having to compensate for 8th string players playing. Nobody was having to do, you know, trying hard to do everybody else's job. This was it, guys. This is the beginning of everybody coming back, and it's happening early this year, 2 games earlier than last year. So, guys, this is everything looks good. Vita Vea, did you see him run around on the field, Dave?
Yes, I did. It was almost a game time decision. He was certainly pushing for playing. I think it was discretion was the correct
Yeah.
tack to take.
Yeah.
Certainly is the way that he didn't know what the game was going to be like, but they got pressure on the Giants. The Giants are
What?
playing practically their second team offensive line, and that's where the game started to fall apart for them. And they never really could get in the game or get anything going offensively. The Bucs pretty much doubled their total offense.
Did you say didn't know what the game was going to be like?
Well, I mean, theoretically, you didn't know going in.
Yeah,
So,
who didn't know?
well, some people. Where are you going with this?
I just want to point out you were saying 11 was way too big of a line, and
I said, wait, whoa,
closer.
whoa,
I'm just
whoa,
pointing this
whoa,
out.
whoa!
I'm just pointing this out.
I said 11. I wouldn't go with the 11 over at the Bucs. I didn't say it's way too anything. I just said,
I smell right. Dude, this game should have been 30-3. They got a lucky. The touchdown they got was dumb luck because the ball bounced off of Mike Evans. This was a bloodbath, my friend.
I will say, because of their poor performance in Washington, after a bye week, after a loss, I was expecting them to do this last week, and when they didn't, I had questions come into my mind. So yes, I underestimated the Bucs. I will confess.
No, that was reasonable. I just knew I didn't know that, and I've been talking about it all week, that when you play with an 8th string cornerback, everybody has to play differently. And we went from all of a sudden, oh, by the way, Johnny Dean says, Rick, did you put money on that spread? No, sir, Johnny. Believe it or not, I don't put money on any games. I just like football. I love watching football. I love being a football fan. That's what it's all about for me. So yeah, I was just having a good old time. And that pretty much is it. Guys, I'm going to put a link right now in the chat. If you want to come on, you can do it on audio or video by following that link that I just put in there. If you want to come on and talk to us, we are more than happy to talk about the 30-10 beat down that we just witnessed. It was fun. That's the kind of game we needed. I know, Johnny, you have said you like close games. I'm sorry, but this was nice. This felt good. Everything about this felt good. Alec, you are correct. It's good to win. You are correct, Alec. It is good to win.
I like close games when my team's not playing.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
I guess I'm old school somewhere along the line. I don't know.
I just sorry to go Raiders on you, but just win, please. Just win.
And if you had 6 minutes and 41 seconds left in the fourth quarter in the Blaine Gabbert sweepstakes, that's when he entered the game.
Yes, you were correct on that, weren't you? You were correct. Let's bring Alec in here real quick. Hello, Alec. How are you?
What's up?
Hey, my friend. Welcome.
It's good to win.
How about that? It feels good, doesn't it?
It feels real good.
And let's also bring Johnny Dean in here. Hey, Johnny.
Mr. Dean.
I just woke up.
Feels good, doesn't it?
That's right. You like them close, regardless.
Yeah. So, Alec, tell me about your thoughts. Tell me what you thought about the game. Tell me how you were. First of all, I want to know this. How are you feeling going into the game?
Nervous. Nervous. Real nervous.
A bunch of folks were with you.
Well, it made sense to be a little bit nervous.
Everybody's slowly coming back.
Nervous.
Yeah. What was that, Alec?
Everybody's slowly coming back.
Well, that's the thing is, I have believed for a while, and I honestly believe because of all the injuries and the experience everybody else got on the field, when Sean Murphy-Bunting and Carlton Davis are both back, this team is going to be scary.
I was at that game last week.
Don't forget Vita.
Yeah, when Vita Vea comes back, it's just, holy cow, man. This is going to be this team. I'm telling you guys, as much as you were calling for the heads of the coaches and you were calling for, complete restructure. I saw blaming Jason Light. I saw fire the coaches. I saw Brady's over the hill. I saw all of it.
I saw people blaming Captain Fear, man.
And 7-3 feels a lot different, doesn't it?
Yeah. I was at that game last week too.
Yeah.
2 full games up on the New Orleans Saints. We haven't won a
beat them next
division
time.
since 2008. We're up 2 games.
Yeah. I think I think we can pretty much say that's a done deal because the Saints are not trending upward, and we are. We've made it through the gauntlet, the difficult part. Things look really good right now. It's good to be a Bucs fan.
Can I ask you guys
David Turnier, when is Carlton Davis due back? I believe
It's like
there's
next
a
week.
good shot he will be back next week. I don't know that he'll be back, but I believe that he will be.
Didn't they just say that it'd be a day he could be released from wherever on tomorrow?
Right. They come off IR tomorrow,
Yeah.
but that's up to
And then
Bucs.
7 days after that, right?
Right. Well, he's been running around not 7 days after that. He's been running around on the field and practicing and such. All they have to do is once he's off of IR, he can come back. It's just a matter of what kind of practice he gets. I believe I think I don't know the particulars on this because it gets weird. There's certain things they're allowed to do and certain things they're not allowed to do. So, Alec, question for you. After the game or during the game, or when did you first realize, oh, this is going to be good?
After the McClendon interception.
It took you that far into the game to feel that way.
You can't count him out. As a Bucs fan for a long time, can't count him out.
Okay.
It's been happening years before.
Okay, well,
Especially
apparently
balls at the game last week. That was brutal watching that in person.
Yeah, it was. But as Bruce Arians, according to Scott Smith, Bruce Arians just opened his press conference with the words, as Dorothy would say, "There's no place like home."
Right.
This team is the good guys win, and this is where we're meant to be. It's good to be a Bucs fan right now, and we can
gotta get that
all
win next
breathe
week
a
at
little
Indy.
easier and remember that. Oh, we are good.
It'll be a test next week going to Indy.
I think next
gotta
week is
stop
going to
the
be
run.
interesting. Yeah.
That was my next question. I was going to ask you and David, do you consider this a statement game?
Tonight?
Yeah.
No. Because the New York Giants are basically playing their second string offensive line. They got pressure on them all night. That was not a top flight offensive
They
line.
got 5 sacks last week. Pressure has been coming. That hasn't been the issue. It's been how they've had to. Here's the thing that people don't realize. Johnny, you'll be with me on this. It's how they've had to get pressure. They've had to do all kinds of crazy stuff to get pressure on the quarterback. They didn't have to do that today because they had the horses behind them.
It's when they got the pressures also. It was
right.
Those third downs that they were converting last week were non-existent now.
Yeah. Bruce Arians said, we feed off the crowd and we should. They make it hard on teams to come in and execute. That's via Carmen Vitale from Buccaneers.com. And that is absolutely true. Let me tell you something. With a loud crowd in that stadium, and it's been years since we've had a loud crowd in that stadium.
I would call this was a needed game, but beating a 3-7 Giant team, I wouldn't call that a statement game.
No, but before the game, you were all like, "Ooh, I don't know.
I mean, usually we
told you what I thought.
We usually make mediocre quarterbacks look like Hall of Famers.
That's all right. But and again, I will say this: only when there's not game film on those guys. Once there's film on those guys, they tend to become average. You pull out. Everybody talks about, oh man, we make these rookie quarterbacks look great. Well, what happens is they come in, we catch them in their first game ever, and nobody knows what to expect.
Exactly.
So
that happens. That's not just a Bucs thing either. That's
correct.
All around the league. That's the league.
That is correct, Johnny. So you got any questions for us, Alec? Just here to celebrate.
I just want to know the game. What will be the game plan next week? Because Sean Murphy Bunting, he still you can tell he didn't fully have full mobility like he usually does.
Yeah, no, I mean, he had a great game. I'm not the least bit worried about Sean Murphy bunting. I mean, yeah, he's got the full arm deal going on. He's you know, he's robo cornerback with his
I was just
exoskeleton. But no, I mean, he did everything necessary.
Actually, I think his decisions have improved.
What's that?
Actually, I think his decision making.
Yeah, he played smart ball today.
Yeah.
He played smart ball. He looked like he was having fun out there. And all I can tell you is the defense was so much better. And I mean, we didn't hear them picking on what's his name?
Jamel Dean.
No,
Jamel Dean don't
Pierre or Desir. I don't whoever the guy, I can't remember the guy's name.
Pierre Desir.
What's that?
Pierre Desir.
Yeah, that might have been it. Johnny, what were you saying?
I know who you're talking about. It's not Desir. It's the
no,
other
it's
guy.
not Desir. It's the guy that replaced that,
Right.
that we had
Oh,
playing
I
in
forgot his
position.
name.
Ross Cockrell.
No, it's the
farther down the depth chart, dude.
There's a P. It starts with a P. Anyway, doesn't matter. But
D. Delaney.
D. Delaney.
No, it was D. Delaney. You're correct, and not a P. It was D. Delaney. We
Well,
didn't hear the
DP,
picking on D. Delaney the whole night, and that's that. To anybody who thinks it doesn't make much of a difference, you saw it tonight. And when and by the way, you remember when they called JPP for lining up in the neutral zone?
He was
flat
not.
out. Go back and look at it. He was not in the neutral zone.
No, they showed it clearly that he wasn't. So.
Right. I don't know what was going on there.
Or they called the illegal
Ali
formation.
Marpet got hurt. He has an oblique injury. He was out. He went out early, and they announced pretty much immediately he's not coming back.
Hope that's not torn.
Aaron Stinney did an excellent job replacing him.
But the thing is this. The offensive line played great football tonight.
Yes, it did.
So
when do you guys think that Sky Miller will come back?
Next week.
Next week?
Yeah.
Now
you can see
bring another set of weapons.
Exactly this is what's happening. This is why I'm so excited, and why before going into tonight, I felt so good about this, is I really feel like it's like, okay, here we go. Everybody, buckle up. It's time. Here we go.
Witherspoon, your guy here, Witherspoon, he said something that makes a lot of sense. It was a statement game as far as playing against the Giants. You got that off our back.
Oh yeah. For the team's psyche, recent games against the Giants were really close. Yeah,
and we even have that game against the Bills. It doesn't look that bad as of what happened on Sunday.
No, the Bills. The Bills are 6-4. They're
behind
the Patriots in the AFC East.
Mm-hmm.
Because I could think the only losses I could probably think of, because we never get lucky against New Orleans. There's some odd reason.
Well, we don't match up well with them. The Colts is going to be okay.
We'll
get into the Colts game later on. I have some strong feelings about the Colts that I want to talk to you guys about, and I'll save it till a little bit later in the post game show, because let's stick to this one now.
I like seeing Brady at the podium smiling.
Yeah. It's a little different than last week.
Absolutely.
A little different than last week, but
yeah, that game was still painful for me to watch in person.
Yeah. Yeah. Hey, I'm going to have to go. Alec, we got a caller calling in here that I'm waiting for.
All right. Cool. Let me out of here, too.
Who could it possibly be?
Oh, Johnny left also. Okay. Hold on. He's going to have to call back here in just a moment. But yeah, I think we all know who this is going to be. I've been waiting for this call. Well, hello. How you doing?
Well, that was embarrassing.
I'm sorry, I couldn't hear you very clearly. What did you say?
I don't think I need to repeat that one.
No, it was obvious.
So one thing I do want to say, and trust me, I had a lot of notes that are no longer necessary. But I do want to get one thing straight, and I'm on speakerphone right now.
Okay.
So you know. if we want to go into the translation of the Spanish with my nickname.
Juan Burro.
Okay, so let me know if this comes through to you. Okay, hold on. Okay, I guess not.
No, didn't hear a thing.
Neither did I, so that didn't work. Let me try one more time. Okay, I guess it blocks that. Okay, so if we're going to change the Jackass Giant fan to Spanish, it's El fan de Juantes de Juan Burro.
Yeah, I'm not going to remember all that.
Yeah. So let's just go back to the Jackass.
Yeah, okay, the Jackass Giants fan.
Un burro.
Yeah, that wasn't very good. And I'm okay. I've been ragging on you guys all year. I'm going to give you a couple of props. Your offensive line is really good.
Yeah, they were tonight.
Granted, we only rushed 3. Did Brady get sacked at all?
Mm-mm.
Okay, I didn't think so. And again, I'm not a Brady fan, but I will give him his props. And
Gabbert
he
got
really did
sacked.
have a good game tonight. So not going to get into all of the garbage about the bad refereeing in the first half because you silenced me on that in the second half. So I really don't have a lot to say except for the fact of what type of pizza would you like? And I need to know where to send it.
We'll deal with that. We will discuss that. But
okay, now I also want to say one thing. This is week 11, correct?
Yes.
Okay. So there are 6 more weeks, and I will not stop calling in.
I hope not.
No, there's 7 more weeks.
No. And I'm going to get a lot more ruthless because now, you know what? I got nothing to lose.
Yeah.
My team sucks. Daniel Jones sucks. And if you would have known me before this year when I started calling in, you would have known that I still haven't gotten over the fact that we drafted him. Anyway, I'm not going to put down my team. I love my team. I have my whole life.
Okay. Listen. And when you were off after you had hung up, I said this, and much props to you for you've been entertaining on this show. You're loyal to your team, which is more than I can say for a lot of Buccaneers fans this year.
Oh heavens no! See, and that's the thing. I'm going to let you off the hook about all of the jumping on the bandwagon fans tonight because I believe there were more Giant fans in that stadium tonight than there were Buccaneer fans. Or it seemed that way in the beginning of the game with the attitude. My brother was there tonight.
What was your TV set on?
And so I mean that's the thing. But again, tonight I'm giving you your props. Just get ready for the rest of the season. But go ahead. I'm sorry.
Okay, you're not giving us our props. We took them. Okay.
Tonight, again, we can talk about it last week, but tonight we're talking about my team going down. So I will give you my props. Go ahead.
Okay, I don't think you're giving us anything. We took it. Yeah, that should have been 30-3, other than that freak interception that happened off of Mike Evans. And
I'm actually gonna give you an aspect that it should have been higher than
right. That. I agree with you. Okay. It was, but let me tell you something. Let me tell you honestly, you guys usually do give us fits. I promise you, this was the wrong week to run into this team.
Yeah, there was, and like I said, I had the first half notes. Yeah. I have almost a page of stuff I was going to get into, but I would be so embarrassed based on the second half to go over them.
Right,
that we're going to let it slide.
Okay, listen, but there's nothing but props for you calling back in, manning up.
Yep.
I mean, all of that. Major props to you. I love the fact that you call the show and that you are ruthless when necessary. And I look forward to your phone calls.
Trust me, I've been nice the last couple of weeks, I feel, and it's not going to be that way for the next couple of weeks. And assuming because you play in a division worse than my team's division, I'm sorry,
you've got the Cowboys.
About comparable, you will make the playoffs. So assuming that this show continues, I'll be calling throughout.
Awesome.
But I will say this in all seriousness. I don't think you're going to have a ride like you did last year. Tonight, you looked great. Now, I haven't seen a lot of Buck games. You have. This was the best game I've seen them play this year. I thought they looked complete. The passing was great. The line was great. Defense, they could have rushed a little bit better. But hard-pressed to do what you did last year.
Well, keep in mind, they were 7-5 at one point last year. So
okay.
last year was not the beginning of the year was not a ride. Okay. It was once they were with 4 games left in the season. That's they flipped the light switch.
Right. Now, I want to go back, and again, it's getting late, so please forgive me if I'm incorrect on this.
Uh-huh.
But if I remember correctly, when the Giants won their third Super Bowl, they were a 6 seed, same as you last year.
Right.
And they beat you in Tampa to start their
It
run.
was a nice little passive aggressive little pointing out that they won.
I'm giving you your props,
I've got to
remember
get
when.
tonight. So, but if I remember correctly, also the next year they had and I might be getting my years mixed up. I apologize for that. But the next year they had the first or second seed in the NFC and lost in the first round. So while you made the same one that we did.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, you are correct. There is no guarantee that the Bucs are gonna make it past the first round of the playoffs.
Right. And then that's the thing, is keeping in mind you had your magic last year. We had that magic 15 years ago. And you're running a lousy division, you're controlling it, and you're going to win the division. I'd be stunned if anything came at this point.
Agreed.
But at the same time, there's a lot of good teams in the NFC. So with that, I'm going to let you go, take on the other callers. We'll have more fun next week.
I look forward to it.
I'm going to try to make this my send off every year. I have every week. I have said it in the past, but let's go, Brandon. FL Tuve.
Nice. Thank
Later,
you very
brother.
much. Thank you. Great call. As always, I love when the Jackass Giants fan calls in. He is a lot of fun.
Respect. He manned up.
Absolutely. What's that?
Respect. He manned up.
Absolutely. Respect for owning it in the way every Giants fan, could. Arian says the turkey, Thanksgiving turkey is going to taste a hell of a lot better. That's via Greg Allman. Bruce Arians said that. And Bruce Arians is raving about Mike Evans' commitment, saying that Evans has never been in better shape, and nobody's playing better than him right now. That's via Scott Smith. Better shape, although he's constantly, limping, injured, crying. I don't know. Nobody even touches him and he's hurting. Tom Brady says Mike Evans is amazing in every way, as a player, as a teammate, and a friend, via Scott Smith, Buccaneers.com. Mike Evans says he's very proud to have the Bucs touchdown record and hopes to extend it by a lot. Says he's proud to be mentioned in the same sentence as Mike Allstott, also by Scott Smith, Buccaneers.com. I will say this. He also must be proud of those hamstrings. But I tease because I like the guy. I really do. I like Mike Evans. And he's a little melodramatic. He likes that. But yeah, I got no issues with him. Seriously. But anyway, guys, it's great having the Jackass Giants fan call here. Well, first time he called here, it threw me because I'm like, what am I supposed to do with the Giants fan? Little did I know he was going to end up basically being my favorite caller and calling every week. Constant. You can count on the guy. It's pretty awesome. So I like it. To Mike Stover, who says that Giants fan should keep his mouth on lock. No, he shouldn't. You kidding me, man? That's what this is all about. But anyway, let's see. It is time, guys. It is seriously time for the Bucs to I think excuse me, as they get healthy, they're back. Dave, overall impressions.
The Bucs did what they needed to do at a very opportune time. The defense played exceptionally well. As you said, it should have been, I'll say 6 points, because they went for it on fourth down, didn't get it. That was a 42-yard field goal. So I said it should have been 30-6 and probably another touchdown if they kicked it up a notch on offense. But Rob Gronkowski, we're talking about how much improved the defense is. The offense was significantly improved, and I believe it was because Rob Gronkowski was out on the field. So on both sides of the ball, getting people back, it's just showing just how what the ceiling is of this team, and it's pretty high.
How about Rojo today? Rojo.
It's a good – you even had a Keyshawn Vaughn sighting.
Yeah, well, that's when you had Blaine Gabbert in there. So yeah, they
Yes.
the guy. There was somebody they mentioned that sacked the quarterback today that I'd never heard of. Some Gill, I think is his last name or something. I'm like, who? I never heard of this guy.
It's a good win.
So
It's going well when that happens.
What's that?
It's going well when that happens.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I'm like, I thought I knew everybody on the roster, and then it's like, who is this? But no, Rojo played well. Fournette played well. Everybody played well. I mean, there was really, who are you going to say didn't have a good game? I mean,
the most excited I saw Tom Brady all night is when he channeled his inner Walter Payton and got the 10-yard run. He was so fired up. That's the most thing I think all year I've seen him fired up.
Yeah. It was the longest run up at that point was the longest run of the night. And our mobile quarterback winning with his legs. You never know. Listen, Jim, you're correct. I called it. Thank you for giving me credit. But remember, I thought this was going to happen last week against Washington, so I was wrong about that. But yeah, I don't know. Johnny and I are correct on this. Vaughn disappoints me every time I see him. I know that's in limited fashion. Yeah, I got to agree with you, Johnny. He just doesn't seem. I don't know if it's because he's not getting the reps in practice. I don't know what the deal is, but yeah, I think you and I both thought, Johnny, you and I were in agreement, which was always so. Which especially at that point was worth noting. Look, when Vaughn came out, I thought he was going to be something special, and he has disappointed. But when you're number 4 in the depth chart, I don't know. You don't get a lot of work. I don't know. What can you do? But it's really hard to say much of anything. So I don't know. I mean, for Dave, player of the game, what you got?
I got Mike Evans and Rob Gronkowski, a dual player of the game. And I just wanted to give it to Gronkowski half because how important he is to the game. Yes, the defense played much better, and getting Sean Murphy Bunting back was absolutely huge and transformed the way they were able to play defense having him back. But I think the offense started to really click, and they started throwing the ball downfield, which they didn't do against Washington once Ron Gronkowski was on the field and catching balls. So I thought he deserved it, and he made some exceptional blocks. And then Mike Evans, I'm a nostalgic guy. He set the record for 72 touchdowns in the organization, passing the Mount Rushmore member of the Bucs, Mike Allstott, in my book. So I had to give it to both of them for those reasons.
My player of the game, guys, my player of the game is actually JPP. I think JPP just had a solid all-around game, batting down passes, making big tackles, big key plays, and big moments. He stepped up. I don't know. It's JPP to me had a great game, but the thing is, it's funny because like you're saying, give it to Gronkowski. I'm saying, yeah, give it to Sean Murphy Bunting because there's no way to say it, guys. You saw how important he was. You saw what happened. I mean, everybody was all over the field. Johnny Dean says he's got to give Levante David a defensive ball. When I saw him getting to JPP, and I putting him in the right formation. He earned it. Yeah, that's his job. He is the quarterback of the defense. But
it's a great observation.
Yeah, it is. Devin White had a big game, had a solid game. Mike Edwards with the pick. Everybody had a good one. What? Maybe Chris Goodwin. Chris Goodwin. If you listen to the Monday Night Crew calling him Chris Goodwin.
I expect more out of ESPN. I don't know what else to say.
And they didn't do it once. They kept doing it. He kept going back to the well and calling him Goodwin. And I was like, oh no.
Don't they have someone in the truck like telling them in the ear, no, it's Godwin.
Right.
Or I guess maybe they were wrong in the truck. I don't know.
Yeah.
But
It was just brutal. I mean, please stop calling Chris Godwin Goodwin. Okay, this is going to be interesting, Dave. Your disappointment of the game.
disappointment of the game.
We always do surprises and disappointments.
Okay, well, it was the interception. I couldn't tell if it was because the receivers were not in the proper formation or they weren't running the right routes. I don't know if it was the receiver. I don't know if it was Brady. But
which interception? You're talking the second one.
I'm talking about the first one that set them up for their only touchdown.
The one that bounced off of Evans' chest?
Yeah.
What did anybody's formation have to do with that? They hit him right in the chest.
No, I meant the line. It looked, the wide receivers looked out of sync. They shouldn't have been in that position. It looked like to me. I thought it was a combination that somebody wasn't in the proper position, and yeah, Evans should have caught it. I mean, in a 30-10 game, not a big deal, but still, I mean, I don't expect things like that to happen. At Tom Brady at quarterback, and with Mike Evans and Goodwin out on the field.
Okay. I guess fair enough. I guess. It
didn't look right. Let me put it that way.
You really have to stretch to come up with a disappointment in a game like this.
The punter didn't punt much, so he didn't get much work in.
Right. So, so understand when I say this is a disappointment, I'm reaching. I know I'm reaching. I'm really reaching, but I guess our number 3 receiver. I mean, we really didn't have one. I mean, Rashad Perriman didn't really have a good game at all. So I guess that's it. That Mike Evans, as Tim Witherspoon said, disappointment had to be the interception off of Mike Evans because it tied up the game after that. And then here we go again is what we were thinking. It's what Tim Witherspoon just brought up. And yeah, but what's Buster here? Buster Rag says, my disappointment was the play call by the OC when we threw the interception that should not have been called. No, here's the thing. They'd been running those quick passes the whole game. They'd been, I mean, that was what we started this game off with, a lot of those and end arounds and all of that, and it was working. So I don't know. That didn't seem like a bad call, and he hit him in the chest. I mean, he hit him in there's nothing wrong with the call. There was something wrong with it. Just 99 times out of 100, that's either going to be a catch or an incompletion. Just had a weird freak thing happen, I guess. It's not a round ball. Welcome to football. I don't know. Buster says it should not have been called in that spot. Maybe. I think it should not have been called if it was. I think it should not have been called if you had a different quarterback. I'll just put it that way. Because Brady seems pretty smart with that stuff. Alec, this is a very good point. Alec Schomber brought up a very good point. He said that illegal formation call on Evans pissed him off. I agree with you because that was not illegal formation on Evans. Evans was on the line. So I don't know what that call was. That may have been a makeup call for something that happened the play before. I don't know. So I don't know the answer to that. That was weird.
No, Rick, they don't make makeup calls.
Of course not. Of course not. No, it was straight the whole way, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah. So, all right. Dave, you brought up the Bucs are up by 2 games in the NFC.
2 full
the
games.
NFC South.
Mm-hmm.
Right now, they are the number 3 seed in the playoffs. They moved in front of the Rams. That's big. They moved in front of the Rams. So next up, they need to deal with the Packers and Arizona. Now they're not playing either of them. So the thing is this: I think if you play this season out, you're going to be the number 1 seed because both of those teams are. I think they're bound to lose a game or two. The Packers, to me, are trending downward. Am I wrong about that?
Well, for me, the Cardinals have been banged up with Kyler Murray and Hopkins out. So I don't really count the last couple of games when they didn't play.
Agreed.
So
the Cardinals are tough.
I would say the Cardinals, in my mind, are the number 1 seed, so to speak, until someone knocks them off. But I think they're definitely beatable.
My question is, Kyler Murray is that small? Is that part of what's going to happen with this team because of his health?
Well, we've had the discussion where I don't think sub 6 foot quarterbacks who like to run do very well in playoff situations in the NFL.
Correct.
So I think I'm talking about from seeding. I think they could very well have the number 1 seed and maintain that. The Packers, we've also had the conversation. Aaron Rodgers' antics just can't. There's going to be a price to pay, and maybe you're starting to see it. When you've got 1 foot out the door, how can you put like extra oomph into your blocks when you know this guy might not be here next year and has structured his contract to basically get out of town?
Yeah.
And the Cowboys, well, they seem to lay an egg every now and then. So
do the Rams. So do the Rams. And this is the deal regarding the Rams. To me, the Rams are, I know they beat the Buccaneers, okay? I hear you guys, but to me, the Rams are not at the same level of what the Buccaneers are when the Bucs are healthy. The Rams just, I think there's film on them now. It's why you're seeing Matt Stafford look a lot more human, is because people know what to do with this team now.
Well, Robert Woods tearing his knee up, that I think was a huge loss. Everybody's going, oh, they're getting OBJ, but they lost Robert Woods.
Yeah.
And I think Cooper Kupp gets a lot of catches because Robert Woods is there. So I think that's a huge blow to the Rams offense.
Yeah, I agree. A lot of injuries when the Rams did come. Alec just brought up when the Rams did come, we had a lot of injuries at that point. Gronk was out, SMB was out. I mean, it's different. AB was out.
It was in LA too.
When is AB coming back? That's what I want to know. If AB comes back, guys, think about this. Next week, you could add AB. Think about any team in the NFL adding AB, adding Carlton Davis. It's just boom, just like that. What happens to your team? Just adding those two. I mean, guys, next week's going to be fun. Then you bring back Vita Vea. Think about any team you add those three. What happens to any team where you take them today, now you add those three players, AB and Vita Vea and Carlton Davis. Now you're talking about adding them to this team.
If that offensive line keeps blocking, the Bucs are close to unstoppable on offense.
Yeah. If they don't play from behind, and that's a key, everybody. The Bucs didn't play from behind tonight. This is an entirely different team when they're not playing from behind. And you saw that tonight. When the run game is a part of this. When we're behind, I will say this, and I don't like this one thing about the coaching of the Buccaneers, is if the Bucs are behind by 7, we abandon the run. I don't understand that. To King Cook, let me address this. King Cook says, we are going to have to stop Jonathan Taylor. And apparently he means it very seriously because he did it in all caps. Listen, here's the deal. Yes, we are going to have to stop Jonathan Taylor, but we had to stop Saquon Barkley. We have to stop running backs all year long. Alvin Kamara, we got to stop running backs. I'm not worried about that. Okay. I'm really, as good as he is, he may get his 100 yards, but he's not going to be the reason that the Buccaneers lose next week. If the Bucs lose next week, It's not going to be because of that. All right. So everybody chill out and relax about Jonathan Taylor. All right. He's not going to be the reason that the Buccaneers lose next week. Now, I will say this, Alec, you brought up, we have to get rid of that zone coverage. Let me say this. The first series, the Bucs played way off on third down. Gave a massive cushion to their receivers on third down. And all of a sudden, boom. As soon as they pulled back in, as soon as the Bucs put pressure on them on third down, everything changed. Everything changed when the Bucs put pressure on them on third down. When the cornerbacks pulled up, everything changed. And let me say, a guy that's looking better and better and better and better every game he plays is Joe Tryon. That guy is fast. He is just so fast. He's like he's shot out of a cannon. You see this Tryon Cup jersey just flying through. It's crazy for a man that big. It's fun. It really is fun to watch. I think when you saw what happened on third down today, when you saw the Buccaneers go from playing this cushion zone coverage thing to going up and playing press, everything changed. That's when you saw the Bucs really come back. The old Buck defense from last year, and you're going to see it again. It's because they're getting the players back.
Well, a lot of the problem in the Washington game was first and second down. The Washington football team over and over again had third and short. When it's third and short, you can open up your playbook. And that wasn't the case tonight. The Giants were in trouble most of the game.
Yeah. Johnny Dean says, if the Bucs don't stop Taylor, then our defense will be on the field too long. And that, Rick, could indeed be why the Bucs lose. Yeah, but I don't think the Bucs, when you say if the Bucs don't stop Taylor, what would make me possibly think that the Bucs are not going to stop Taylor? I don't take Taylor for granted, but I'm not going to take this defense for granted. He is the difference at Indy as much as Henry in Tennessee. Yeah, remember when they played Henry last year in Tennessee? The Bucs shut him down. Alvin Kamara is the difference maker in New Orleans. The Bucs shut him down. Jonathan Taylor is very good. He is that good. He is what that team revolves around. This team's strength is stopping the run.
I would gladly stop the run and put the ball in Carson Wentz's hands, having to win the game.
What I think is going to happen. Now, I will give you my little look forward to the game next week. My little look forward as I look forward to the game next week. What do I think is going to happen? I think this is a good matchup for the Buccaneers. All right. I do think that this is a good matchup. Much like New Orleans is a nightmare matchup for the Buccaneers, this is a good matchup. Take their strengths and our strengths, their weaknesses and our weaknesses, and this looks like a decent matchup for the Buccaneers. Like the Bucs could win. I'm not going to blow them out. I'm not saying that. It's okay. I know I said it tonight, but I don't believe they're going to blow them out. All right. But man, I'm telling you, we get our horses back. And this looks okay. This really looks okay. Next week's going to be okay. They're not going to be able to kill us with the run. If we take the lead, they're going to be playing from behind. That affects things. I think the Bucs win by, 3, 4, something like that, 3 or 4, 5 maybe. But I think that's about what you can expect. That would be my guess. So, for whatever that's worth. I do think Jonathan Taylor is an amazing back. I think right now he's running the way he's perfect for that offense. I just think it's a good matchup, and the NFL is matchups. We are fortunate when it comes to how that aligns. They are not. No, look, I am worried about playing New Orleans when we play New Orleans more than I'm worried about this. So don't take it wrong. I'm not saying I'm not concerned about Indy. I'm not blowing that game off. Like I said, you win by 3, 4, 5. I'm not saying it's going to be a blowout by any means. I don't know if there's an early line out on that game. If there is, somebody let me know. But I mean that's I don't know. I think everything is okay. This team is absolutely coming around just like they did last year. Everything is good. So Alex says to give Victor Emmanuel Vega Jr. a shout out, please. He's the number one Bucs fan that he knows. Well, go Bucs. Thank you, Victor. I hope you're listening. But I mean, the thing, guys, it's good to be a Bucs fan right now. This is what it's all about. Forget those last 2 weeks, and I know it's probably going to be funny. I'm gonna go on the message boards and in the groups and all of this, and everybody's going to be saying everything's great. Okay, here you go. Fred Swayze Moore saw the Bucs are favored by 2.5 versus the Colts was what he saw.
That's what I just saw as well.
Okay. So I mean, that's about what I said. I said, 3, 4, 5, something like that. I just think it's a matchup issue, guys. I really think it's a matchup issue. So I don't know. Jim Melvin says our O-line has been the biggest surprise over the last 2 seasons. I kind of have to agree with that. Boy, does coaching make a difference. Anybody who thinks coaching doesn't make a difference, flashback to a few years ago in the offensive line. Now, I guess they were probably doing their best, but when you got a quarterback who holds the ball for, 4 seconds, it's different than a quarterback who holds the ball for 2 seconds. So, yeah, I don't know. It was nice to see Brady open it up a little bit, and I think we'll continue to open up a little more again. But I don't know. And Alex says this correctly. I'm just glad we've made it this far without an O.J. Howard injury. I think that's a good observation. That is a good observation. Yeah. So I don't know. Yeah. Tim Witherspoon says take the Bucs now before the line changes. Yeah, I agree with that. Grab that 2.5 because I do think it's going to go up. But we'll see. I don't know. Dave, I know we. Do you happen to be prepared for a David W. says?
Well, I can always spout off at the mouth over a topic.
Well, let's have you spout off at the mouth. David W. says is a little segment we like to do around here where if you go to David W. says on Twitter or Facebook, you will find dazzling David Whitescarver, my co-partner over here. And if you go there, you can hear Dave's words of wisdom, and we like to give him a couple of minutes here. And Dave, grab 2 minutes and have at it, my friend. What does David W. say?
I alluded to it in the pregame show. There's a lot of legal finagling going on in St. Louis between the lawsuits there, St. Louis folks, and the NFL. And it's not getting a lot of airplay, but it could get very serious for the NFL. The way it stands now is the St. Louis group is saying the NFL didn't enforce their own policy regarding relocation, and as a result, we have been damaged. Stan Kroenke has offered $100 million, and they won't go away. They reject that out of hand. I've seen estimates could be $500-600 million. It could keep going up. It just depends. Here's a wild card that could happen in it. Jerry Richardson, he was forced out of the league as a Carolina Panther owner. He's got some insight as to how the relocation process worked. And don't be surprised if his name pops up. Don't be surprised if the NFL, they've tried to change the venue. Anything they've tried to do has not worked. $100 million payoff is not going to work. This could get big and it could get ugly for the NFL. And this is just pure speculation on my part, trying to connect the dots. But I cannot believe that some of that stuff buried in that 650,000 emails for the Washington football investigation may have something to do with relocation, St. Louis, and along those lines. It's a story that, again, you have to look for it to find it, but it's becoming more and more interesting to me, and I think it could become an extreme headache for the NFL. On top of that, the other owners are not happy with Kroenke because they want him to make it go away, and Kroenke wants the NFL to pay up, and they don't want to. They're like, you're benefiting from LA's relocation, you pay for it. So this could have internal squabbles. It could have former owner involved. It's starting to become intriguing to me, and it's something I would encourage people, if that's of interest to you, to keep an eye on that story. It could become big.
Excellent. I am absolutely fascinated to see how that is going to play out. So we shall see. Johnny is telling me via message the last time we played the Colts was in 2019, and Henry had a great game versus them. They won the game behind him. Then, the same way I described, they wore down our defense. Taylor may be just as good as Henry. Well, it's too early to say Taylor's as good as Henry, but he may be. I'm not disagreeing with you, but that was 2019. We didn't have the same kind of quarterback to play. We didn't have. We were probably playing from behind. I mean, it's just a whole different animal. So I just think it's different now than it was in 2019. But we'll see, I guess, in about 7 days, won't we, Johnny? We will see very quickly. Hans Gruber says, why is it that every time David speaks, I feel like I'm about to owe somebody money? Awesome. It's been that way since elementary school. It's been that way since elementary school. So yeah. Alex says, do you think Trask is the future, or are we getting another quarterback in this year's draft? I don't know, and I don't care right now. And I don't mean that to be sarcastic. I genuinely, what I'm telling you when I say that is, I don't know. I don't know anything about the draft right now. Other than I don't know. I have no idea what Trask is doing at practice, what they think about Trask. All the word I hear is that they like him. They like Kyle Trask. But yeah, I don't know. And when I say I don't care, I mean it literally as in, we just won Monday Night Football against the Giants by a lot. We're headed towards the postseason. We're headed towards winning the division. I'm kind of focused on that. So I don't know.
I have a thought on that.
Okay, yeah, go.
My thought is, I think Tom Brady, when he does retire, it's going to happen quickly and it'll be a surprise. And I think they'll still have enough weapons around a new quarterback that they'll go get a high-priced free agent. And I don't think Kyle Trask will be the eventual future quarterback for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers as a starter.
Yeah, I think it's just too early to know. I mean, that's the thing is I think it's too early to know. I don't think Brady's retiring after this year. He could. I don't think he's going to retire after this year. Yeah, I guess it could happen. I mean, probably how the year ends plays into that. I'm guessing, but I get the feeling if he doesn't win a Super Bowl, that's going to motivate him. And I also get the feeling if he wins a second one in a row, he's going to want that three-peat. So I just don't. I think he's got a couple years left, and we'll worry about it then. But it's just too early right now. I mean, it's and Alec, you said my bad. Sorry. I don't. I that's not me I'm not trying to dog you about it. I'm just trying to say, in all honesty, my brain's not even close to there. I'm so excited about this year, and I'm enjoying this year. This is a good year, man. This is fun. This is fun. I don't know. You said you hope that they move Darden to receiver instead of special teams because when I see him return balls, I close my eyes. It always seems that way. I'll say I wasn't that scared today, but yeah, I saw the stat that the Buccaneers once again still feel like the old days, the longest streak of any NFL team without running back a punt or a kickoff. That part we're all familiar with. So yeah, I don't know. And Johnny says, David, when has Brady not honored a contract? Yeah.
He's got a 2-year contract in his second year. I'm just saying that.
No, he restructured and he's under contract through next year.
Okay. My mistake.
Yeah.
I'm not saying he's not honoring a contract. I'm just saying he's going to be done at some point, and people are going to be there. It'll be a surprise when he's done. He's done.
Yeah.
And after he's been there for over 2 decades plus, it'll be well, shucks, he really did retire. It'll happen fast.
David could also be the attorney that Harold and Kumar go to see. Oh, man, that's awesome. Alec, I wish they kept Mickens. Yeah. You felt confident then? Did you really? I haven't felt confident on kickoff returns or anything. So I don't know. I don't know. Victor, how you doing, Victor? Apparently you are Alex #1 Bucs fan. Hey guys, we are a complete team. It just always feels so surreal having Tom and Gronk. I'm a lifelong Buck fan, and man, it's just fun watching this team now. Hallelujah, Victor. We're in agreement. I agree with you. It's so fun to watch this team. It's surreal. It's hard to wrap your mind around because you're sitting there looking, going, I really remember how bad we were year after year after year and how we nitpicked to find things to be hopeful about. And now we're nitpicking to find things to complain about. That's what I think is the difference between being a Bucs fan. If you've been a fan of the Bucs, I don't care, man. 5-10 years, you've spent a lot of time nitpicking to find some reason to hope. And now we're nitpicking to find reasons to complain. So I don't know. I don't know. It's
a good day in Buckland.
It is a good day. It is a good day to be a Buck fan. It's a good day to be in Buckland. Dave, this has been a fun night. But you know what? We can get out of here at 12:15. Who knew? We kind of figured we'd be starting right around now. We can actually get out of here now. And whoa.
Hey, you got Bandit Ball.
Vega, my dad played for the Bandits back in the day. I'm just enjoying the ride. Bandit Ball, baby. It's back. It's back. They announced it today. The Bandits will be back. The USFL starts next year, and the Tampa Bay Bandits are back, baby. How about that? We need to start Bandit Report. Just telling you, boss. But anyway, it is fun, guys. It is fun to be a Bucs fan. Right
First
now.
and 10, do it again. Bandit Ball.
That's right. Dave, will you be joining me tomorrow night on Buck AF?
I think I can fit that into my schedule.
Excellent. Buck AF tomorrow night for all of you who are Buck as well, you know what the F stands for. Anyway, let's enjoy tomorrow night. Let's enjoy the night. Sleep well, Bucs fans. Dave, you got any last words?
Happy Thanksgiving week.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And guys, I want to tell you the same. Have a great Thanksgiving. Enjoy friends, family. If nothing else, enjoy turkey, and whatever you want to do. But you know what? Sleep well tonight. Pleasant dreams. We've got to win. All the complaining, all the griping, all of that can go away just for a few minutes. Let's enjoy this one. Soak it all up. Let's take every little bit of it and enjoy it, because everybody's been taking every little bit to complain about. So, guys, it's good. We're 7-3. The Bucs are 7-3. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers, woohoo! We're 7-3, guys. 2 games up on the New Orleans Saints in the division. This is awesome. Go Bucs. Go Bucs. Go Bucs.